In today's video, we're going to be talking about what has happened to Deku in the latest My Hero Academia chapters. I'll admit that until recently, I was an anime-only watcher and I really did sleep on the manga. This was until I kept seeing these images of Deku and the hype that was surrounding him in the series. Intrigue, of course, got the better of me, and after crushing over 100 chapters in less than 12 hours, all I can say is Deku has undergone such a change in these recent arcs, and for me, that was particularly in the areas of his personality, appearance, and his ability to use One for All. So we're going to talk about that today and find out what has happened to Deku. To look at this, we are obviously diving into the latest chapters of the manga, which is sat at chapter 317 at the time of this video's making, so just a heads up that there are spoilers here, manga spoilers, people. Now, if you enjoy these videos, make sure to Detroit smash that like button and share this video with a fellow fan of the series. For more weekly anime videos, make sure to hit the subscribe button and the notification bell so you do not miss a video. Of course, if you want more 414 videos, why not head over to my Patreon, where I have some exclusive videos, monthly hangouts, and early access to these videos before anyone else. Anyway, with that being said, grab yourself a beverage, let's roll intro and get straight into the video. Like I mentioned at the start of this video, Deku has gone through some changes for me in 3 key areas. And these changes are all due to the events that have unfolded, over the course of the series, to be fair, but most particularly the events that took place during the Paranormal Liberation War. And man, what a freaking amazing part of the story that was. So, let's start with Deku's personality. Deku has always had the heart of a hero. This was, plain to see from the very beginning when he saved Bakugo from the sludge monster when his body moved naturally all on its own to save his friend. But Deku has, lacked the personality for the job. He was shy, quiet, and timid, all the traits that you would associate with that of a mouse, to be honest. And it's understandable, of course, due to the years of being quirkless and looked down upon for wanting to follow his dream of being a hero despite this. But like I said, Deku has the heart of a hero, and through the good fortune of running into All Might that day, leading to him becoming the 9th inheritor of One for All, he finally found his path. Good for him. Love to see it. Now, Deku has always had a happy nature to him, someone who wants to protect, who is caring and empathetic, even to the villains he has faced. Now, he has always had a nature, an aura about him that to me has always been positive, but there has been times where we have seen a much more aggressive side to him, especially in the bigger battles. This is because Deku has always tried to imitate the people he looks up to, namely All Might and Bakugo, and we must remember, this is a key fact here, that when we first met Deku, he was 14 years of age. He is still growing and developing not only, as a hero, but as a human being, and these years through his experiences are crucial in determining the person he is going to be. So, let's fast forward to where we are right now. After the Paranormal Liberation War, Deku is currently 16 and has been through a lot in these 2 years, particularly the just mentioned event. Deku has gone through a drastic change personality-wise. He has had to suffer the trauma of war, seeing many innocent lives lost, including ones that he has had an emotional connection to. He has witnessed society make a complete 180 back to those dark ages, and with it, the downfall of the faith the people once had in heroes. Not only this, but of course, Deku has been sitting on this huge secret about One for All and his connection with All Might. And combined with that is the importance of One for All from the 2 perspectives of course, good and evil. Now, he has this power that is destined to one day go against the big bad, and the big bad is more terrifying than ever. It wasn't until recently that I believe Deku has understood exactly what he is tasked with, and the even more terrifying truth of what is now hunting him down. Now, I still don't believe that this has wavered Deku and that, he will meet this head on, but, I think this has really forced this 16-year-old to mature. The world is in a very, very dark place and more than ever needs a symbol of hope. With his secrets slowly spilling out to the world, Deku is no doubtedly going to have the burden shifted on his young shoulders, as he is the one with the power to take down this evil. And with this, it has led Deku to become much colder and distant. He's obviously left UA because he knows wherever he is, threats will follow, and he he does the same with the heroes that are looking after him currently. He tends to rush off to the next villain or civilian in need of saving, leaving behind All Might and the others so that they are not in danger of being in the same place he is due to the assassins that have been sent out for him by All for One. It has got to the point where he has even said to All Might that he doesn't have to tag around anymore, that he is more than capable on his own and that he doesn't need to rely on others anymore. It's plain to see Deku is completely traumatized by the haunting images of All for One, Shigaraki, and the one he cares about being injured, that he feels that he needs to keep moving forward, that he can't stay in the same place and that he needs to keep taking down as many villains as he can in the process. He's now almost consumed by this goal and has little to no care for himself, sacrificing rest. By the looks of him and from All Might's statements, he doesn't seem to eat or sleep much at all now. Talking of All Might, you've really got to feel for him here, as he is the one who is witnessing this dramatic change in Deku and really the only one who understands just how far he has fallen, just how consumed he is by this burden and how what little is left of the old Deku is quickly fading away, all while being powerless to help him. Of course, All Might promised Deku's mother that he would look after him, and let's face it, All Might is pretty much a father to Deku. This is killing the once great symbol of peace, as he feels responsible for putting Deku in this situation, but worst of all, I think what's hurting All Might the most is that Deku always used to look to All Might and is now telling him that he doesn't need him anymore. Yes, of course, this is to keep All Might out of harm's way, but All Might wants to be by his side. He wants to protect Deku, and despite being powerless, All Might knows the pressure that is crushing Deku right now, and he just can't get through to him. So yeah, it's safe to say that Deku has changed a lot mentally, and it's really clear to see in his appearance, which, was the second thing that really stood out to me about this, air quotes, new Deku. And it says at the end of chapter 317, looking at him, you'd never guess he was a hero. And no kidding, Deku looks like a freaking demon. And it's his appearance now that I kept seeing which made me catch up on the manga in the first place. Deku is a worn out figure following his constant fights, especially the fight with Lady Nagun, and also the explosion that had occurred at the mansion. His hero costume and gear is battered and torn. Most of it isn't even working at this point. His arm braces and gloves were destroyed in the fight against Lady Nagun, forcing him to go back to the old gloves from his beta costume, and is now also wearing mid-gauntlets to support his arms. Most noticeably, of course, is that he is wearing his mask to conceal his identity, and his respirator looks completely battered. As well as this, Deku is also wearing Gran Torino's scarf as a nod to his former mentor, and it really just adds to this broken figure that he now depicts. But for me, it's not just his attire that has changed in terms of his appearance. If we look at the final panel in chapter 306, we see Deku looking over the battered city. He looks like a figure with the world on his shoulders, a lonely and burdened person, and this is really clear to see in his eyes. Deku has always had eyes full of determination, kindness, and hope, but here we can see a person that is suffering. A determination remains, but a completely different one from, say, a year prior. There is just a deep sadness here, and he has had to remove himself from the bonds of everyone that was continuing to keep Deku moving forward. And now he's alone. It's all up to him. The endless amount of people who have had their lives destroyed, who have and are suffering, Deku feels this, and he has to carry those feelings with him. The world of My Hero Academia couldn't be darker right now, and Deku in this panel is the perfect imagery of this. And we also get to see another glimpse of Deku like this at the beginning of chapter 317, where he has those dead yet focused eyes. It is kind of fun, his whole appearance at this point has been linked to that of Batman, and you know what? I do see this, except I see him more like Batfleck, like Ben Affleck's rendition, in terms of like he's a man who has been through a lot and looks physically and mentally tired, but keeps pushing forward. I don't know if that's just me, but it's fun. Now, the link to Batman, I guess you could also say is, evident in Deku's use for One for All. It's like, yes, Batman has no superpowers and relies on his physical strength and gadgets, but I think that's kind of similar in Deku's case. He has, really no superpower of his own, but uses One for All and, the past holder's quirks, just as Batman does with his various gadgets. But, Anyway, enough about the Batman comparison. I just wanted to share my view on that, but it does lead nicely into the third main difference in Deku now, which is his use of One For All. The difference in his ability to control One For All now is a night and day difference, with the main change being that he has an arsenal of quirks to pull from. The quirks we've seen him use and learn to control in these recent chapters are, of course, the unknown quirk of the second user, Farjin, the third user, which allows Deku to store up kinetic energy and release it in a burst of speed or power, Danger Sense from the fourth user, which allows him to, of course, detect danger in the surrounding area, Black Whip, of course, from the fifth user, which manifests those black tendrils from his body, perfect for grappling, Smokescreen from the sixth, allowing Deku to generate thick clouds of smoke, and of course finally Float from the seventh user, Nana Shimura. These are all really impressive quirks, and we have seen Deku begin to master these against the various villains that he has been taking down, but the one that for me is the most impressive is definitely Farjin. To explain, Deku uses 45% of One For All's power and combines it with the stored up energy from Farjin, allowing him to use One For All at 100% at blinding speed without the recoil that would usually come with it. This has been called Forks 100%. And now Deku has managed to control One For All at this point enough so that he used it in his argument for All Might not following him anymore by saying, "What I'm capable of now is on par with you at 100% with no recoil to boot." And it's really amazing to see what Deku has achieved in this short bit of time. Now, I personally feel that he's been forced to get better more than ever after his last fight with Shigaraki, and of course after his chat with the predecessors in that subconscious realm, but I also feel that Deku has a long way to go still and does have other quirks to master from the previous holders, but from what I have seen so far, really hype, man. Really hype. I'm excited. But yeah, thank you so much for watching my video about Deku's change in these recent chapters. What have you made of this, again, air quotes, new Deku? For me personally, I love seeing this darker approach to his character, and I'm really looking forward for what's to come. My Hero Academia has been amazing recently, and I really hope this continues. Now, if you've made it this far, first of all, you're awesome. Secondly, would you like to see more My Hero Academia content like this on the channel, where we look into the current state of affairs in the manga? Of course, let me know in the comments. I really enjoyed making this video. I'd love to make more. As always, if you enjoyed this video, smash that like button and share this video with a fellow fan of the series. Don't forget to follow me on Twitter, Twitch, and Discord. Links are all in the description. And of course, hit the subscribe button and that notification bell so you do not miss future videos. As always, a huge shout out to Warwick, Animator22, Brian, Blake, Andrew, BS Tuna, Emmeline, Kivasay, Cody, Chris, and S Tauhai for supporting me on Patreon. Don't forget to head on over there yourself to check out the amazing rewards, including a super special awesome exclusive series for Patreons only. But that is it from me. Till next time, my fellow weebs. Peace!